I'd now like to introduce and welcome Catherine Marks. Catherine is the SBA Connecticut District in the SBA Connecticut District Office as District Director. Julio Casiano, the SBA Deputy District Director, and Mike Blasich, the SBA Regional Administrator. Now, our aim by the time our time together ends in about 45 minutes, we'll know more about the SBA and the resources available for the LPTV small businesses. We'll learn about the important do's and don'ts of the various lending programs. And we aim to have time for Q&A at the end of the proceedings, but please think of this as the beginning of our dialogue, if you like, with the SBA. For example, we know that LPTV business owners face different borrowing requirements than, say, Class A operators. We know that members have experienced varying levels of success when it's come to SBA-related borrowing and loan guarantees. So what we want to accomplish today, and thank you, Catherine, Julio, and Mike, is to get insights to see the range of programs that are available and to know how to better access the SBA resources. And think of this as the start of what we hope could become a very solid dialogue between the Small Business Administration and the LPTV Broadcasters Association. I'd now like to get started with a very warm welcome to Mike Blasich. And Mike is going to talk about the mission and support for small businesses that's available. So the floor is yours, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be here with you. The SBA Small Business Administration, up until about 2 years ago, was one of the best kept high value secrets in government, but with the unfortunate emergence of the pandemic, it really leapt to public prominence with a number of aid packages that were put forth by Congress and then implemented by the SBA. The SBA in 2021 alone delivered nearly $450 billion in pandemic relief, helping over 6 million impacted small businesses and nonprofits through the 1 year through that year.
Thank you, Regional Administrator.
Okay, thank you.
I will take the baton from here. We appreciate your opening remarks, and thank you, Michael Lee, for having us. We are here. I am the District Director from Connecticut. And we communicated with Michael early on regarding a specific small business issue. And when he learned about everything that the SBA has to offer, he said, well, I want to bring this to my low power TV broadcasters and owners so that they can hear it. And as Mike said, the SBA was the best known, best known secret in the government. I like to say that we were the little agency that could, did, and continues to power small businesses. So as we are pivoting to economic recovery, your district in your area can be so helpful. So we also joined by Marima Gutierrez, who's running the behind the scenes. So thank you, Marima. And what we're going to do is talk to you about how you can receive resources, how you can make the contact. And if in the chat you want to put what state you're from, we'd love to hear what state you're from. But everyone has a district office. In some states, there are multiple district offices. For example, in Florida, there's 5 district offices. And in California, there are 6 district offices. So I would like to give you the way where you can find your district office and communicate and get in touch with the team there that agrees with our mission, and that is to help our small businesses grow, succeed, expand, and recover. So the SBA has the website sba.gov. And if you are more familiar with the Spanish language, it's sba.gov/Espanol. Here, you can put in your zip code and find your district office in the area. It's important because in some spots in the Midwest, while you might live in one particular area of the Midwest, another district office might be closer and be able to give your support. So put in your zip code there, and you will be able to find your district office. I am going to let my colleague, Julio Cassiano, talk about the loan programs, and then I'm going to come back on and go into a deep dive on the resources that are available. So Julio, the floor is yours to talk about the loan programs.
Sure. Thank you, Michael, for having SBA here as part of your seminars. And my goal here as a deputy district director for the SBA here in Connecticut is to introduce the audience really to what are the programs that are available through SBA. And these are not new programs. These programs were not created by COVID. They were not established through COVID. These are the bread and butter programs SBA's had for a number of years that probably date back to 1953 when SBA was created. So even SBA has been around for over 50 years. So when we talk about our programs, these are programs that are the same no matter in what state you're in. Whether you're in Florida, California, New York, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, even in the Virgin Islands, there are offices that are able to provide you with assistance. So it's not just trying to figure out how and how I can have access to these to this information or these programs, is understanding how to reach out to the various organizations that are located in your state, because the language SBA speaks is nationally. It's not just for Connecticut. So what I'm going to be talking about in the next few minutes, you will have access to the same information in any of the states that you belong to. And in this page here, what I just wanted to show you is that these are the basic bread and butter programs of SBA. They all fall under this under the 7A Act that was created by Congress that authorized SBA to become a lender on a national scale. And as you heard from the regional administrator, these are not small dollars. SBA's lending goes over $20 billion a year, and it includes a number of programs. And it starts with the 7A, which is the first slide in here. Now, under this program is similar to any traditional program at a bank. Now, the way you have access to this program is you don't call Julio, you don't call anyone that's on the presentation in today. You would probably reach out to one of the partners that Catherine will be talking about after my presentation, or your lenders. Usually, we recommend you to reach out to your partner first because it's free. SBA does training through a number of partners, and you'll be hearing about them in the next couple of minutes. But as far as the 7A program, which is the bigger of all the programs SBA has, it's used for any type of short-term M&I, short-term lending, or long-term lending, depending on what the sources and uses of the funds are for. For instance, you could use it for short-term working capital, which is defined for some folks as a line of credit. You could use it to refinance debt, provided you can provide evidence of how you want to pay down your debt. You could use it to purchase leasehold improvements. You could use it to buy equipment. You could use it to buy inventory. You could use it even to acquire another business, or say you've been running the business and it was owned by your parents and now you want to buy it. You could talk to us and see how we could finance the buyout of either a family member or someone that you've been working for that now is willing to sell the business. You can also talk to SBA and see how we could do that for you. The other thing is also we do finance franchise ownership. So in the event any of this acquisition of a low power is through a franchise, we might be able to do that. Again, you could reach out to us for that information. Most of the lending that I'm talking about, unlike most banks, you'll be able to get loans up to 25 years, depending on what the use of funds are for. So if it's for line of credit or short-term working capital, I'm certain the lender will not give you 25 years. But if the need and the purpose and the desire for you to get a loan up to 25 years is there, SBA will back that support for you. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, you could either get it in the form of a term loan, which is your standard vanilla lending through a lender, or a line of credit, either way. We also, within the 7A program, have these expedited or kind of less paperwork structures, which are called the SBA Express. These are for lenders that want to do loans up to $500,000. We're able to do that. Also, for any of the folks that are listening to this presentation, if you're a veteran, we have a program called the SBA Veterans Advantage Program, which have certain bells and whistles, especially for veterans in terms of fees. Maybe get fees reduced depending on the dollar and size of your loan. And again, you get more information on any of these programs by reaching us at any time. Either you could call us directly, or you could speak with one of the partners or the lenders themselves. They have information on these programs. And finally, Lender Match. You'll be seeing a slide on this. That's kind of a dating match program. You just go online to sba.gov, and you're able to apply, not directly, but basically put your information in this program application, and lenders will reach out to you, kind of matching what your need is with a lender. Rather than looking for a lender, you put information in the website, and a lender will eventually reach out to you. One of the other programs that was introduced as far back as in the 70s is the 504 loan program. This is kind of the fertilizer program. It's based on you buying a business. And when I say a business, the property, say you're in a broadcasting studio and the building is available for to buy, then you would probably use this program. This program is unique because it allows you to come up with just 10% down. So of an example, say a building where your business is located is up for sale for $100,000. The way this program operates, you would then come up with $10,000, and between the SBA and a third-party lender, usually FDIC, savings bank, credit union, or commercial bank would come up with the 50%. SBA will come up through a community development corporation 40%, and you would come up with 10%. And so the end game in this program is you're not putting up a lot of money to acquire property. Most commercial lending requires anywhere from 20 to 25% and a lot of bureaucratic red tape. This program streamlines it for the lender because in the end, the lender is getting 100% collateral on just 50% down. So the lender is providing only 50% of the upfront purchase of the property, but they're getting 100% knowing that the SBA is putting up the rest of it along with your 10%. And again, that program is tied to the length of either the equipment. Usually, if the piece of equipment has a depreciable value life of more than 10 years, you could use this program, or in general is used to acquire or purchase property. So you could also purchase land and build on the land. So if you're planning to build a building on a parcel of property that you own, this program can be used. And again, the way to initiate discussion is to reach out to us or the partners, and we'll be able to help you with understanding the program and link you with the lender that would also help you with the processing. One of the programs that's also within the kind of the Batman belt buckle is the micro loan program. This is a unique program. It's not directly through a bank. You don't call your local banker for this loan. This is done through one of our mission-based community lenders. Most states across the country have community-based lenders, and you will reach out to that lender. You could also work with the partners, and it's for loans up to $50,000. And so you're not going to a bank. You're basically going to one of our small community lenders and applying for a loan up to $50,000. Why is this program unique? Because most lenders won't do loans under $50,000 unless they issue you a credit card. or some 20% interest rate or 16% interest rate, because there's not much money for them to make anymore on small loans like $5,000 and $10,000. So this program allows you to borrow $5,000 if you need a piece of equipment, $3,000, $1,000, $10,000. So if you see, the program is streamlined so that you can get what you need without having to go through a lot of processing at a local bank because of the size of the loan. The structure of the loan is similar. It could be used for working capital, supplies, machinery and equipment, and fixtures. It cannot be used to pay down existing debt. So if I wanted to refinance a loan or acquire real estate, I won't be able to use the micro loan, but I could always look at the 7A. It's just the nature of this program is really to help the smallest of the small, and also to cut down on having to go to a bank. You just go to a community lender that probably has more of an expanded underwriting capacity and capability, because lenders are very focused on underwriting and the demands are very rigid when it comes to borrowing. And so they're going to treat a $20,000 loan as though it's $1 million loan. Well, your community lender might not look at it that way. They will expand the underwriting and they will work with you. So if you have issues with credit or problems with issues that you've had in the past, this might be the way to go. But again, you would have to meet with the community lender or with one of the partners to help you kind of guide yourself through the process of looking into this program. In addition to the micro loan program, that's also work that goes through non-bank institutions. Back in 2014, 2015, this program was started, which is called the Community Advantage Program. This is also through community organizations. You'd have to, again, look at your state and see which organization in the state has access to this program, because they back in 2014 and 2015, they had to register and be approved to become a community advantage lender. Basically, they would be lending up to $250,000 with the purpose of helping those businesses that need the most help. You're not going to a bank to apply for this program. You will be going to the micro loan, not the micro loan, but to the community organization that provides this loan. Interest rates are negotiated by the community lender. So again, you have the ability to negotiate in terms of rates and what exactly it is that you need. And if you have issues, this might be a good program again to look at, because you're not going to a bank. The purpose behind the loan is similar to the other 7A loans. So a lot of the structure to the program is similar to the loan that I had mentioned before: working capital, equipment, etc. As I started in the beginning, I mentioned lender match, and this is one way to get introduced to a partner or a lender. In this case, would be more of a lender. If you don't know how to kind of shuffle yourself around through all of this information that I provided you. Also, if you look at the websites, there's a lot of information that's out there. If you just go into SBA.gov and in one of the tabs, you will find Lender Match in the front page of SBA. What you're going to do basically is you're going to apply. You're going to be answering certain questions that are just standard questions when someone applies for a loan. And within 72 hours, someone from one of the lending organizations that's registered within your area, because hopefully it would be a lender that's close by to you, would then contact you. And at that point, you would open up a dialogue with them and work with them with the paperwork that they need to help you apply for a loan. And so here's some of the bullets in terms of how the program works. You describe your needs, answer a few questions as I had mentioned. You would get matched within, hopefully by within 3 days. The paper here says 2. And talk to lenders. You will be talking to them. So it's not just a communication by internet. Someone will be reaching out to you. And the application process will then start beginning right after you meet with the lender. So hopefully it kind of streamlines the search, the need, and that someone will get back to you. This has been up and running now for a couple of years and it's been very successful. So hopefully if you don't, and by the way, I've always said to most of my clients when they call us here at SBA, I always ask them the front up question, who's your lender? And it starts with your lender first, because they might be already an SBA lender. And if they are, then in most states, you should have a listing of who are the lenders in that state and who's the contact. You could call the SBA office that's located in your town or, in your state, and they will provide you with the information as the bank name and the contact and their phone number. And you could reach out to that individual if you want to speak directly to your bank. And then if you decide to look elsewhere, then most states have a list of all the banks that are in that state that provide you with lending, and you could choose another lender to call.
Thank you, Julio. And that was a lot of information. So do not worry, folks. We will do Q&A, but let's recap. So what Julio talked about was he talked about lending programs. We have he talked about the 7A program, and the 7A program was for funds from up to $5 million, and that includes buying a franchise, that includes buying equipment, and that includes new startup. He also talked about the 504 loan program, which is very attractive right now. And if you are using a station and your building is up for sale and you're interested in purchasing that building, then you want to talk about the 504 loan program. And then if you are looking for small dollars up to $50,000, that is where you will be looking at our micro loan program. And then our community advantage is $250,000. But you already have a job to do. You already have a small business that you're trying to run. So who is going to help you navigate that? And that is where the SBA comes into play. We have local assistance, particularly to help you navigate these loan programs. And again, we are all about powering America's small business and making sure that we have this economic recovery from the COVID pandemic. So we talked about in the beginning where to find your local office. Well, we have more than just the district offices to offer help. And this is where you're going to, again, go to our website. You're going to type in your zip code, and you're going to see all of the local assistance that is applicable to you. So where are our resource partners in your state? Where are they closest to you? And they're going to help you navigate some of those complicated, not complicated, but some of the nuanced programs that Julio talked about, whether it's going to be advantageous for you to do the 7A program or go for something like Community Advantage. So again, SBA.gov. If you prefer Spanish, SBA.gov/Espanol, you put in your zip code and you will get all of our local assistance. All of this is free or minimal low cost to you. And I want to repeat that. This is free or very minimal low cost to all of you, no matter where you live. We have district offices and assistants in all the United States, also in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and Guam. And we really are here to be the small business resource. We've set up some nationwide resource partners. And these are all these partners offer different nuances, and you can use multiple partners. So don't just feel that you have to go to one of these 4 partners here. Julio talked about the loan application. If you feel that your business plan is not in shape to be bank ready, if you feel that you are not yet bank ready, this is where you would go to one of our resource partners, and they're going to help you get to that step so that when you go into that bank, that you will be able to have that success in getting an SBA guaranteed loan. So the first resource partner I'd like to talk about is called the Small Business Development Centers. Small Business Development Centers. And those are acronymed as SBDCs. Believe it or not, there are 950 small business development centers throughout our network. And really, we're living in an ever-changing global economy, and they can help you with topics like regulatory compliance, technical development, what I said before, getting you bank ready, getting your business plan bank ready. And if you're looking to expand, if you're looking maybe to buy another station, they can help you understand, the finances. And then again, they will have the contacts with our SBA lenders to help you get that financing. So that's the Small Business Development Centers. And again, my colleague, Maraima Gutierrez, will put in the general website for that, but you can find all of this information on sba.gov. The next resource partner I really would like to talk about are our SCORE Business Mentors. This is a unique nonprofit group that believes in the mission of the mentor-mentee relationship. So these are executives who have experience, who volunteer to help you and help your business succeed. We have over 300 SCORE chapters throughout the United States. I can tell you here in Connecticut, I am just always so impressed with the content that the SCORE chapters put out on a weekly and a monthly basis. So if you are looking for that kind of relationship, it will be sba.gov/SCORE. But again, if you go onto SBA, you can get the local SCORE chapter near you. Next, I'd like to talk about our Women's Business Development Centers. This is a group that is ever growing in the SBA, and I'm very excited about it. This is to train women entrepreneurs on the essential business counseling topics and help them navigate some of the challenges that women face when they're growing a business. Again, all you have to do is go on to sba.gov and you can be connected with them. And our veterans, we have a very strong commitment to our veterans. Indeed, our veterans make fantastic entrepreneurs based on their experience serving our country. So we have over 20 veteran business centers. And Julio also mentioned that some of our loan programs have some particular benefits for veterans. So these are our 4 resource partners. And again, I'm going to be a little repetitive here because I really want to hammer in the point that these resources are available to you for free or very minimal costs. And they can help you when you are going for that SBA loan to be prepared and to get success. I know of one instance, a small business that I talked with a few weeks ago, where they went into a bank to try to get a SBA loan. They were not prepared. They did not have their financials and they did not have their business plan. And in that case, the lender actually said, why don't you go talk to a SCORE mentor? Because one of the SCORE mentors was actually an ex-banker, and he was able to get that business up and running, and it is right now very successful business. So we work hand in hand. This is all about layering. This is a layering of support. The district offices are in contact and communication with the lenders, and the district offices are in direct communication with the resource partners. And all together, we are trying to put a support layer for our small businesses here in Connecticut.